Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to use a tissue box. This is just one of those cheapo tissue boxes, and it was like this. Okay, so all I did was fold it down, and then where this seam was right here, I just cut straight through both of them. That gives me that little piece right there. This one we'll save for something else. This is going to be a traveler's notebook and with a window in the front. Now we're going to take this off and I'm going to replace it with some acetate. There we go. Alright, so we've got that off, and I'll put my acetate on it in a little while. Now this is the paper that I'm going to use, and I know I'm going to cut out some of these roses with my window, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to put more roses on the inside. And I'm going to use this paper collection. It's a new one that we have from Stamperia. It's called House of Roses. We just got more of these in, so you can go over and check those out if you want. That link will be below. So I'm going to lay this down, and I'm just going to lightly trace around this, just real light, because I want to be able to erase it, any kind of pencil marks that are on there. Now we're going to cut this out, hopefully. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and cut the whole thing out. Let's just do that first. Lay that back down where it was, and I'm just going to trace it this way and then down this way, and then we'll just cut the whole thing out. And I'm going to use my cutter just so I can get maybe a little bit straighter line. There we go. Now then, we can trim that window out. Now all I'm going to do is punch a little hole. Where is my little knife? Let me see if I can find my knife here. I've got one somewhere. And I'll start it out with this, but I'm not going to trim it all the way with this, because my hand is a little bit too shaky to get a straight cut with this. So we will use our scissors, hopefully, from there. Okay. Now, if you can salvage this middle piece, you can salvage it and make it into a belly band or something. And if you can't, then don't worry about it. But I'm going to try my best to salvage mine. Gonna try. There we go. And just trim around that. And there we are. So we did salvage it. So I can use this for a little belly band or a tuck, something like that. And we've got our little piece cut out here. Let's see if it's going to fit. Looks like it. Now I'm going to erase any pencil marks that I have now, because if I don't, I'll forget about them. There we go. Okay, looks Good. It looks like the right size. I'm going to go ahead, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and ink this just in case I let my paper slide a little bit when I put it down. But you don't have to do this if you make sure you get your paper cut correctly. Sometimes I let mine slide a little. So I like to make sure that I have some ink on there that'll just cover up anything that I don't want seen. Now, I don't worry about this little extra fold back here in the back, but if you think that will bother your notebook, then you can put a little piece of extra paper down through there to give it a little bit more strength. But it's pretty strong, so I'm not going to worry about it. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to put a little bit of ink right here on the inside of this. Okay, there we go. Now we can glue this down. Just like that. But I'm going to put a little ink around this, and I won't make you watch me do this, and then we'll be back and glue it down. Okay, now we're ready to glue this down. Now, let's see. I am going to use this Barely Arts ink. I'm going to use this Barely Arts glue because it has been holding well on shiny surfaces. But if you have another glue that you prefer, go ahead and use it. You could also use PVA glue on here. My paper is thick enough that I don't think I'll have any problem with this. But if you're using a thinner paper that you think might warp or, might take a while to dry, then go ahead and use some PVA or something like that. I'm just going to make sure that I get a good application around my window. And right up to the edge. Okay. Now let's see if we can get that on there pretty straight. I'm going to hold it up so that I can see it. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to use my bone folder and I'm going to press this glue out so that it will go all the way out to the edges. I'm going to put something down on my mat just because I don't want to clean it again. I just finished cleaning it. So just press it all the way out. Just be easy in the beginning because you don't want to make anything slip or slide. But if you just press and pull, it will make sure that that glue is spread out evenly. And you can also use a brush if you want to brush that glue on. Because the more even the glue is, the more this is going to lay down flat and hold better. So that's what we want. Okay, there we go. Looks like we've got it all the way to all of the edges. Okay, it looks good. Now we're going to put some on the back. And I'm going to put quite a bit right there in that seam. Even though I'm going to reinforce the seam, I want to make sure that I put a good amount of glue there. I am going to reinforce the seam on the inside. And probably we'll put some lace on the outside. But I just want to make sure that I get some good glue there. Now you could use your different tip for this glue if you wanted to, and more glue would come out at a time, but I didn't want to change right now, so I'm just going to leave it like it is. Alright, so let's press that down and give it a good press. It's just like watering plants. If the glue comes out to the edges, then you know you've got enough. If it doesn't, then you may need to put a little bit more. So if the water, when you're watering plants, if the water comes out the bottom of the pot, then you've got enough water on there, and if not, then you might need to add a little bit more. And so far, I have not ever noticed this glue warping my paper, so I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, I'm just going to wipe any excess glue off the edges. Cool, I like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just press it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so that should be good. Now I'm going to wait a little while before I fold this, just because it's still really, really wet, so I'm not going to fold it right now. But while we're waiting, we can go ahead and decide what we want to put in the window. We could put this. Let's see. Let's look on here and see what we have. That's pretty. Isn't that page pretty? Wow, there's lots of things that we could put in there. That might be cute. No, it's not going to show the bird and the... Let's see. Nope, those are not long enough. Well, that's pretty. I think we might put some of that paper behind there. Let me see. Or we could do this. Cut that out right there and put that little bird in there. Think that would be better, and save that paper for something else? Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I am going to mark this how I want it cut out with my pencil. Let's see, I'm going to get the bird and then try to get some of those flowers. Here we go. While that's drying, we can go ahead and cut this out. Oh, let's see. Wait a minute. You know what we can do? I don't need that cut out like that. I need this put in here like this. Let's see. Let me think a minute. This is my first time making one of these, so we're going to think a little bit. I need to mark. I really need to fold that. Let's see how it works. I'm going to fold it really, really easy. Alright, I just want to see about where that's going to come. I don't need it to. I think if we do it like this, we can get all of that in there, and then that little bird. So let me just trace around all of it. And I'll just cut the whole thing out to put on there. I don't even know. I don't think that put a mark on there. I don't think I had any lead in there. Let's try that again. There we go. That did. Okay. So I'm going to use my trimmer and cut that out. And then I can erase all of those extra pencil marks there. Now we will not finish this today, but we will finish it this next week. So you can be watching for that. Let me erase these pencil marks. I didn't even need to draw those on there. There we go. Now I'm going to put a little bit of ink on here. I need to close my glue up while I'm waiting. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that little tip off this time, and then I'll be able to glue with a lot more glue coming out. I could put my other tip on, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, now let's glue this down like this. There we go. We've got our little birdie showing. So the only problem is this is going to be the inside of our little notebook. Do we care about that? I don't think I mind. I will probably put something down here to cover that up. And maybe something here to cover this. I don't mind this at all. I'll cover that. And then I don't mind these other pieces. A lot of this is going to be covered anyway with the paper that's inside. But I don't mind that for the inside at all. It's not going to be a problem. Okay. So let's go ahead and put our glue on here. So you get lots more glue when you take a tip off. Now just make sure that you wipe around that real good before you put that tip back on there. You don't want it to glue on there to where you can't even get it off, ever. Alright, now what I'm going to do, someone sent me these little spatula-like things. Let's see if they work to spread this out. I think these are some that she got at the dollar store, maybe. It does alright. It doesn't do as good as a brush, but it does okay. Just mainly concerned about getting some around the outside edges. Oh, you know what? I've got to put my piece of vellum down. Piece of acetate down before I do this. So I've got to go find my acetate. Let me do that real quick. Okay, let's put this down real quick before my glue dries. And I'm going to need to trim this side off a little. There we go. Alright, now I'm probably going to have to put my glue on here again because a lot of this is already drying. So what I'm going to do is use my brush and put a little bit of PVA glue on there. I should have probably done that at the beginning, but guess what? I didn't. Now I will probably stitch around this just to ensure that it holds well. You don't have to do that, but I probably will on mine. So with all this glue, it should stick well, huh? 2 big layers of glue on here. Took me a while to find my acetate sheets. That was what was so aggravating. I thought I had them in my drawer, and I looked, and I didn't. I had put them up. Every time I put something up, I can't find it. It's like I put it up and I hide it from myself. Ooh, I'm going to be careful, and hopefully I won't get any down through there. Okay, now I'm going to take this and just wipe a little bit of that back where I got it a little close there. And right here, where I got a little bit of gunk on there. And then let's try to glue this down now. Let's see. Now right here where my window is, I'm going to pull the glue away from it, hopefully, and not get any glue in there. Yeah, that worked. All right, got a little glue right there, so let's wipe that off while it's nice and wet. Okay, now I'm going to let this sit this aside and let this dry, and then we will come back probably on Monday and finish this up. We'll fold it up, put our lace on there, put some pages in it, cover some of this on the inside, and do some embellishing. But that's it right there. When we fold it up, this is going to show through the window. So I think that's cute. And then we'll use this on the inside as a belly band. Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.